Oh, okay. Good luck. Have fun. We are going for a pre-mill drush on this one. I'd never done this build before, and I really want to try it with Lithuanians. I really do find interesting and weird builds fun and enjoyable, and I knew that this was going to be tight. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have two houses that we constructed. Then we're going to put a total of 4 on wood. And once again, we're not going to be making a mill, so that does mean that we have to scout our resources, make sure that we are taking boars, and that way we can keep producing villagers. And because we are Lithuanians, we're going to have 150 extra food, and hopefully we will be able to keep producing militia as well. That's the idea of a pre-mill drush. Now, I did feel like this was pretty clean, although there were some mistakes that I definitely made as I was doing this. So there's the boar lore. We're gonna take some food. We have 4 on wood, like I said before. And something really, really interesting happens in this game, which I was not expecting. Well, first of all, we have we have a little bit of laming action going on over here, but my opponent is going to pick up on that, and he is going to try and stop that to the best of his ability. I'm even going to try and get this one sheep home. And I'm just trying. There's so much you have to do with a pre-mill drush, so I really didn't want to get housed too badly. We did have to pick up loom. I don't know if I wanted that or not wanted that in this particular build. And we are going to build an additional house and then hopefully our mill after that. This also means that we have to have 10 additional gold in order to produce that militia. We're also slowly starting to run out of food behind the TC. We tried to do some additional shenanigans over here, but now my opponent knows he's down a sheep, which was actually really, really nice for this particular build to have an additional sheep because we're going to be running out of food relatively quickly, trying to get that boar, building the barracks. There's a lot to do in Dark Age with a pre-mill drush. You have to have a very, very close eye on your economy. It's quickly going to shoot that boar. And also what's super awkward about this is you can't send any of these villagers down to food. So now we're going to take that 10 gold because I am 10 gold short in getting that last militia out here. And then we're going to rush our opponent. Was this the cleanest pre-mill drush ever? No. Definitely not. And you can even see that we made some minor mistakes with the gold there. But I felt pretty good about it. We had 2 militia already. We're going to shoot his scouts, see if we can get that. Oh, no. Not the geese. Not the geese. Oh, that was super disappointing. And now we have our free militia. So we're going to go forward. We're going to attack and harass whatever resources we can. But here is the weird thing. What? Just passing. Okay, cool. So that's 5 villagers coming forward. So I knew that these militia had to come back, and it's so funny. Like, I was not expecting this to happen at all. But we are going to hunt down that one dude over there, but that still means that he has 4 forwards. And he went super greedy on this push. He didn't even get loom before this, and now he's immediately going to build a stable on my face, and sadly we are not up yet because we invested into those militia. So we got to bring those militia back, and we're going to try and stop this stable from going up, but that's obviously not going to happen. And this reminded me a lot of Ploppy, and I actually like messy games. I really do enjoy myself some good messy games. So we're even going to pull these villagers and see if we can... Oh, cheeky boy. This guy had like 1,000 games under his belt. And this Drush has already done some damage because it did kill 1 villager. Can we get one more villager here? Oh, it's getting absolutely surrounded. These villagers would have been really nice to have in this fight. I knew that I'd click them, but that's a really good block from him. And now all of a sudden I have to deal with a whole bunch of scouts in my base, all in scout rush. We're gonna try and get that villager back home. Realize that these are now in danger, so we're gonna run those back home as well. And my goodness, the pressure that this guy put on walling in this, okay, that's annoying. But I felt pretty decent about my situation because I know from Persian TC drops, you're bringing 5 villagers all the way forward. His eco at home is probably not that good. Also, how is he able to keep producing scouts and villagers was my question. And I don't think he's able to. So actually, if we look at the queue, I can see that he's only producing scouts. He's not producing additional villagers. So as long as I am producing villagers, I should be in a pretty decent spot. And once again, he's just trying to lame me and annoy me and do the worst things possible. We're just going to engage against the scouts. And we're going to be pumping out spearmen as well, trying to protect, trying to keep our eco working. If we look at the total number of vill count, it's 24 for me and 19 for my opponent. He's also losing scouts to TC fire, trying to get him to lose villagers as well, trying to keep my villagers alive. And oof, this was definitely some pressure that I was feeling. Even the spearman's gonna get involved, snipe down that woman, and he knows the importance of full walling this barracks in, because these spearmen are absolutely going to wreck his scouts. The more of these I get, the better it is for me. He still has a total of like 6 scouts. They could definitely snipe off some villagers, but right now we are a total of 7 villagers ahead. So I was feeling pretty dang good about my situation. Also, I don't think he has realized that there is actually a hole over here. And if I really wanted to, I realized that I could delete this house and have spearmen flow out this way as well. And we're actually housed as well, but we're not too concerned about it. Although I really should have clicked away these 3 villagers and just gotten the wheelbarrow immediately. But you know what? You're in the moment. You're dealing with a lot of aggression. Was not the best plays on my part. The reason that I wanted this first, I didn't want to prolong the lumber camp because the distance for walking is huge on this one. Don't want to walk huge distances. And now finally we have the house come out. We were pretty dang housed in that situation, but we are almost 10 villagers up at this point. All of these on wood because he ran out of food. So this push is kind of coming to a close. Now he has to transition into something else. Also, he's probably going to want to deal with those spearmen. Yeah, so he goes for an archery range of himself. And I just realized, like, hey, I couldn't just take these guys out. That's totally fine. This villager is idle over here. He has 2 villagers building an archery range. And I was feeling pretty dang good at this point. We're even going to go market. And I was thinking of actually going castle at this point because I didn't feel like his scouts could do a whole bunch of damage to me. He has 8 scouts, but I have a total of 6 spearmen chilling around. So if I make it to castle, this is probably GG. I win. And we were trying to make it so that there's only one way that these scouts can get in and do damage. But now I actually realize that he has an archery range behind, which is actually pretty scary for me. Because if he pumps out a whole bunch of archers and shoots down my spears, that could be very, 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 very bad news bears. So we're going to have to counter with a archery range of our own. And pump out some skirms to deal with the archers, and then have the spears to deal with the scouts. And we're stabilizing. I do love these kind of games where it's super aggression. And this guy had, like I said, 1,000+ games on his account, and we're walling this simply to the TC so that if these archers do come out at some point, they're not going to be able to find a whole bunch of damage. We just want to limit the damage to the best of our ability. Actually, probably could have killed that woman, but didn't want to risk not knowing how many archers are in there. And so many scouts, but these scouts are not able to find a whole bunch of damage. I'm okay with him actually running in here because I can garrison. I have enough around my farms that I can garrison. Trying to snipe 1 or 2 of those. That's fine. Take another one down. And I know that his eco is trash behind this, right? I mean, he has 25 villagers versus my 33 at this point. We are producing villagers easy peasy. And we are still producing skirmishers and stuff as well. I definitely want to keep these skirms and spearmen together because I don't want my skirmishers to be caught out by his scouts. And now we're going to counter those archers with our skirms. We're going to keep the spearmen with those skirms just so that those skirms don't get absolutely wrecked. And he's going to go for a cheeky boy tower over here. And we're going to try and counter that to the best of our ability. There's skirms to stop that tower. And that's not very quick, but you know what? That's going to get the job done because we spot it early enough. Now we're going to target down those archers, and we're going to bring the spearmen forward to attack those scouts. And this is a great overall engage for us. Also, we have additional skirms still pumping out, and all of those archers are going to get cleaned up as well. So this is a really, really good engage. I think this definitely did the tide of battle for us as we are slowly starting to lag a little bit. And I'm up to castle age, and we're just going to start pumping out some knights at this point. I figured that knights would probably be able to withstand most of the stuff that he has at home. He's going to additional stone, and his eco is looking quite trash. He did not think that this was going to go too long. He built an additional 5 houses over here that kind of stop things from occurring. So that was kind of funny. I still don't know if my pre-mill Drush was worth it or not. We're going to try and snipe down these archers that he has over here. We're actually not going to be investing into any more military over here. It's not really necessary. We have a whole bunch of skirms. Yeah, he took down all my spearmen, which is kind of unfortunate. And we're immediately going to build an additional TC. And I wanted to build that on a stone just to have that safe as well. Now, if he does come in with scouts, we can either just choose to fight it off with whatever we have here, or we can build 1 or 2 knights defensively, because knights absolutely shred scouts as well. And as soon as that happens, we are going to build that TC. Come on, TC. TC time. Having such a good time because it's TC time. And I don't think my opponent is even close to clicking up at this point. Oh, actually, he is actually relatively close at this point. But now the thing is, do you really want to go to castle? Because if you go to castle, you're not going to have the defenses required to stop these knights from absolutely raiding your base. So let's see what his reaction is at home. Defensive tower over here, and defensive tower on the gold. Now, the wonderful thing about knights, that I'm the only one. Sorry, my daughter likes Winnie the Pooh, and she listens to that from occasion. And these knights are now slowly starting to run across the map. I think we immediately got the defense upgrade, and the reason that we get the defense upgrade is just so that these guys stay alive longer. I figured that he was on gold, so I clicked that to the gold, but you know what? We'll take farms too. We'll take anything at this point. And he's still being a little bit annoying over here with some archers, and he has some scouts, but that all got cleared up by my Feudal Age army. And we're mostly just focusing on the knights and trying to do damage wherever we can. Has to go into the tower, idling a whole bunch of his eco. He is the castle age, but we're just going to have a huge knight advantage by the time that he actually gets to castle age, and we're just gonna take that tower down. There's 5 vills in there. We'll take that, and as soon as it does go down, we can potentially snipe 5 of them. I don't think we got any additional upgrades. Oh, we did get the attack upgrade to snipe villagers faster, and that's 1 down. That's 2 down. Oh, we got 2 out of the 5. Not great, but we are just gonna take down that tower as well. Might as well. And then we're just going to run around. And the eco numbers are definitely not looking in his favor. We have almost double the eco number. He tried to wall in the knights. Good luck, buddy. And absolutely everything is getting destroyed over here. And this is going to be the GG. That guy survived on 1 HP. He's like, I'm not going down. GG. And let's take a quick look at the statistics. It was a really enjoyable game. I'd never done a pre-mill Drush before this, and I felt like it actually worked decently. Here you can see my pre-mill Drush. I managed to actually get one of his villagers, and then losing that kind of set me back a whole bunch. I wonder if that was worth it. I got 1 vill kill. I think that's kind of what you want with a Drush anyway, is to hopefully get 1 vill kill and keep producing villagers. So wasn't the worst thing in the world, and all of his army actually did not do a whole bunch. He was producing army rather than producing villagers, and we were able to keep our villagers alive for the most part. We had a couple of good engages with spearmen against scouts, and we had a good engage with skirmishers against archers, and then there was one big fight in which we had skirmishers against the archers and spearmen against the scouts. Gotta keep those together, because if those get separated and destroyed, then you're in some big doo-doo. Definitely an interesting game, and thank you guys all for watching. This is the Pre-Mill Drush opponent aggression, I suppose. I don't know what I'm going to call this one, but we will figure it out. See you in the next one.